people interviewing agents to sell a luxury home in Orange County are asking the wrong questions. Not because they don't care, but because they don't always know what really matters at this high level. And that is true whether you're the homeowner making the decision yourself or the attorney, trustee, fiduciary, wealth advisor, or a family member helping guide that decision. Hi, I'm Paula Aragone, CEO of Aragone & Associates, and this is OC Luxury Real Estate, your questions answered. In a more standard residential sale, a good agent with strong local knowledge can often perform well across a wide range of situations. In the OC luxury market, it's different. The buyer pool is much smaller. The stakes are higher. Marketing has to reach a more targeted audience. Pricing requires stronger judgment than just a standard CMA alone can actually support. And when the seller is high net worth, privacy conscious, or navigating a trust, estate, or major life transition, the agent selection matters even more. Choosing the wrong agent in luxury sales doesn't just slow the outcome. It can lead to a lower sales price, more time on market, unnecessary stress, or a transaction that becomes far more complicated than it needed to be. So whether you're evaluating agents for your own home or helping guide a client or a family through that choice, the framework in this episode is worth having. These are the same questions we believe should be asked before any luxury listing is signed. Question number 1. What is your experience with properties like this, in this price range, with this type of buyer, and with this level of complexity? This is a much better question than simply asking whether the agent has sold on this exact street or in this exact neighborhood. Of course, local market knowledge matters. It absolutely does. But in luxury real estate, geography alone is not the whole qualification. The real question is whether the agent understands how to price the home in a thinner market, how to position it to the right buyer, how to negotiate at this level, and how to manage the complexity that often comes with a luxury sale. Sometimes that complexity involves privacy. Sometimes it involves a trust, an estate, or professional advisors. Sometimes it simply requires a level of judgment and communication that goes well beyond a standard listing. If you're a homeowner, you want someone who understands your property beyond the map. And if you're a professional making a referral, you want someone who can step in, represent your client well, communicate clearly, and handle the transaction with the sophistication that the situation requires. A strong luxury agent should be able to explain both what they know about the local market and why they are specifically equipped to handle this type of sale. That is a much better measure than geography alone. Question number 2. How will you price this property and what methodology will you use above a property of $2 million? As covered earlier in this series, a standard CMA can break down in thinner luxury markets. A credible luxury agent should be able to explain exactly how they approach pricing when there's limited comparable data, how they weight the comps that do exist, and what adjustments they make for the property-specific attributes and why. An agent who prices based on what the seller wants to net is not presenting a methodology. They're presenting a number. Those are not the same thing. Question number 3, who is the buyer for this property and how will your marketing actually reach them? That matters whether you're selling your own home or helping advise someone else on the right representation. A true luxury strategy starts by identifying the most likely buyer for that specific property. Not just saying, we'll put it on the market and see what happens. Luxury buyers often are not relying on consumer platforms alone. Many are working through trusted buyer's agent, private relationships, referral networks, and targeted exposure. So the question is not just whether the home will be marketed, the question is whether it will be marketed in a way that actually reaches the right audience. A marketing plan built mostly around the MLS and generic paid social is usually not enough on its own for a true luxury strategy. This becomes especially important when the property is part of an estate, trust, divorce, or another privacy-sensitive situation where the seller may want a more controlled process. In those cases, the right agent is not just listing the property, they're managing exposure, timing, confidentiality, and buyer quality all at once. Question number 4. What certifications or designations do you hold, and what do they mean in practice? Certifications matter, but they should be evaluated thoughtfully, not just accepted at face value. If you're a homeowner, you want to know whether the person you're hiring has successfully handled situations like yours before. If you're an attorney, fiduciary, CPA, advisor, or trustee, you want to know whether the agent you're recommending understands the legal, financial, and practical complexity that may come with that sale. A CPRES designation reflects specialized training in California probate and trust sales, directly relevant for estate properties. Other luxury-specific certifications may reflect additional training, but they should always be considered alongside actual transaction experience. The follow-up question is always, how has that training shown up in actual transactions? A credential without experience behind it is still only a credential. Question number 5, what does the first 30 days look like, and what triggers a strategy review? A luxury agent who understands this market knows that the first 30 days are one of the most important windows in the entire listing process. Ask what success looks like in that window. Specific showing activity, feedback patterns, offer activity, and what changes if the response doesn't meet expectations. An agent who doesn't have a clear, specific answer to this question is approaching your sale as a listing, not as a strategic process. Beyond the right questions, there are also red flags worth noticing early. And again, this matters whether you're a seller choosing representation for your own home or a professional trying to make a smart referral for a client. Because in either case, the risk is the same: the wrong strategy, the wrong expectations, and ultimately, the wrong outcome. The agent who prices high to win the listing appointment. Red flag number 1. This is one of the most common dynamics in luxury real estate. An agent recommends a price that exceeds what the data supports. The seller feels encouraged, while the agent advocates later for price reductions, and the property sits. Ask any agent to justify the recommended price with specific comparable data before you even sign. Number 2, the generalist in a specialist market. An agent who works across every price point and property type may not have developed the level of specialization a luxury sale often requires. In a $3 million transaction, the cost of a generalism is not minor inefficiency. It can create real risk in the outcome. Red flag number 3, the agent who can't describe their buyer network specifically. Luxury sales require relationship. If an agent can't clearly explain how their buyer network functions at this level, who they reach, how they reach them, and why that matters for your specific property, That's worth paying attention to. Red flag number 4, the commission discount as the primary pitch. In a luxury transaction, you're not optimizing for the lowest representation cost. You're optimizing for the strongest net outcome. An agent whose primary value proposition is a lower commission may be signaling something important about how they position their value and what they may be giving up to compete on price. So, how do you find the right agent to sell your luxury home in Orange County? You ask better questions, you look for specific answers, and you evaluate real strategy and real track record in the relevant price range, location, and type of transaction. If you're a seller, that helps you choose with more confidence. If you're advising a client, a parent, a trustee, or a family navigating a major real estate decision, that helps you make a recommendation that you can stand behind. The listing appointment is the audition. Take it seriously. If you're evaluating agents for a luxury sale in Orange County, whether for yourself or on behalf of someone you advise, that conversation is exactly what we do. I'm happy to walk you through your options privately. If you work with clients navigating luxury OC real estate and ever want to talk through how we approach these transactions or get a market read on a specific property, we're always glad to have that conversation. Next week, the series finale. What is the difference between a luxury home sale and a regular home sale in California? It's the episode that gives you the full picture, relevant to sellers, buyers, and every professional who advises them. That's next Tuesday. I'll see you then.